Grand Rising family, Grand Rising. It is too cold to weld. So, by the ASME codes, it says that you shouldn't weld under temperatures of 50 degrees Fahrenheit or 10 degrees Celsius. So, it's too cold to weld outside, most definitely, and in most shops right now with the weather that's going on. Some of them has waited either starting to open up later, like wait until noon if it's can warm up some before starting. But it's never good to weld cold regardless. And one reason why you don't want to weld cold, because you might can weld it and make it look good, but if it's not sealing together and it's not binding good, it will snap and break. And you don't want your welds to break. You want the temperature to be good. That's why it's always good too, when certain metals are too thick, it causes it to preheat. It asks for you to preheat the metal. That way all the elements in the metal can be warmed and moving when you put it in the weld, so it can bind stronger, because the weld itself should be stronger than the existing metal. So keep that in mind. So I just wanted to say this rising is a little too cool to weld. I was just thinking about it. And so this rising, I didn't go in and do anything. My classes are Monday through Thursday, but Friday I go in and get a couple things taken care of. But this rising, it was did some snow, and the highways had some black ice, and just too cold, just too much going on. So you see, I got the hoodie on. I'm bungled up, trying to stay protected. So just sometimes you have to know when to jump out there and when to chill out. I want to make sure I lock in the messages to pop up, but wanted to make sure I say salute HogOn to anyone checking in. Normally, I come early or later, so I know this is like a awkward time to check in. It states by the code ASME is it says 50 degrees Celsius and 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So you don't want to weld under that. Some say 45, but I would say most definitely you don't want to weld under that, especially if you in temperatures where you can't preheat the metal and keep the metal preheated. Then you just want to try to wait till the environment or whatever you got to do, or get something to heat the metal up before you start trying to weld. So just keep that in mind, because if you're welding and it's cold, you can snap it, it'll break. So that's one thing. The weld might come out nice. The performance of it, the appearance of it might be nice and smooth, but the binding of it wasn't there. So the material wasn't binding good. It wasn't getting good penetration, and it can snap. So just keep that in mind. So this rising, like I say, though I know it's a lot of states right now getting hit. I'm in Arkansas right now. It's getting hit, fam. So from especially the northern parts, and then coming down to central areas, and then as it goes down closer to the south, it starts warming up a little bit. Yes, if you go to TikTok, just put in HogOn University and you should find some of my videos on TikTok. I've been posting random little stuff over the years. Right now I've been posting stuff of me teaching and doing the shipping container conversions. So that's what I have grown into more, in the welding skid blueprints and welding skids, period, just the whole concept of them. But I have been more into the teaching and the shipping container conversions, and actually working on a book too. So I've been working on a book. I just want to say this, give a shout out to, I have a lady who's helping me do this book. I can't wait. I'm really excited. Hopefully it's going to take about 2-3 months for us to finish it, so to get everything right. So it should probably be out maybe by my birthday. So it all depends on how things go. That's March. So got that project going, and so we working on a cool thing. Yes. You see, I'm booted up, fam. It's cold. Is it cold where you at? I know my guy, you checking in Mobile, Alabama. Is it cold in Mobile this rising? Yes, it is cold. I got my coffee. Hopefully, y'all, I like mine straight black. So I don't know how you drink your coffee, but I gotta have mine straight black with nothing in it. Yes, sir. What's the temperature, man? What you working with down there? And I know you close to that water too, so I know it's probably cool. It's real out here right now. So, I'm saying, this rising, I just wanted to check in. Okay. Yeah, this rising, I just wanted to check in. I know it's cold. Where you checking in from? Okay. Okay, Panama City, Florida. Okay. I know it's cool. I know it's cool, especially by that water. Like I say, I just wanted to check in and just, give a few updates, man. The class been doing good. I did a small video, actually, of an update of my class at the first week of them welding, which is actually Monday through Thursday. And fam, they did excellent. Everybody has formed a bead. Everybody's getting the concept. Never use power tools, using the grinder. I got 2 students who has already, I had put from the, this has just been the first week. I already got them on horizontal. So, it's going well. Little Rock, Arkansas. Little Rock, Arkansas is where I'm located at. So I'm actually teaching at the Goodwill Academy there. We have a program that is 16 weeks long, and you can either have the AM shift, which is 8 to noon, or the PM, which is 1 to 5, and it's 16 weeks. And in that time frame, what we're giving the students the opportunity to learn stick welding and flux core welding in 4 positions, and we're testing out in vertical up and overhead in 2 positions with the stick or with the flux core. And then we getting them their OSHA 10. The PPE is also included, the welding hood, the welding jackets, and they even got a program that also furnish the students boots, so they get their boots too. So it's a win-win, and also help them with job placement, with forming a resume and pointing them directions of a few jobs that have already accepted some of the students who have graduated. So in my personal opinion, fam, for under $3,800, I believe it's $3,775 exactly, and it's a $100 deposit, non-refundable $100 deposit to get you in, to get you on a waiting list. And like I say, the program is great. On top of what they give, you know what I mean, the stuff that you get from the program, I'm teaching it, so it's a win-win. You know what I mean? That's what I like to tell the students. I'm like, man, you get all of that, and you get me, man. You don't know how you winning right now. So I remember when I was learning, fam, it was my teacher wasn't real hands-on. We had to. It was me and actually one more specific person named Jamel Jackson. Salute out to him. We was in prison, and he had failed from Little Rock, but he was from Cleveland, Ohio. And me and him always went into the classroom and was going over the material, because he'll go over some material in the classroom and watch some videos with us, and then we go to the booth. He never went in hands-on. He just said, okay, go in there and do this, go make a bead, and we have to go in there, so we had to figure it out. We kind of had to work together, so we was always kind of like a competition. He'll show me what he had, I show him what I had, and we'll go back and forward, and so we end up improving ourselves. But once we got good, he was quick to say, man, look at my students, man. I got a few students, they doing real well. And we thinking to ourselves, like, well, he ain't help us do real well. You know what I mean? But later, he did give me a few tips on stick welding, so I do give a shout out to him for that. So, I mean, but not just stick welding, but pipe welding, I'm sorry, because he was a pipe welder. So he did give me a few pointers on that, so I do salute him on that, because the class didn't even teach pipe welding. They just taught, it was 40 hours, actually, and it was learning how to TIG, MIG, and stick in 4 positions. So you had to do it in all 4 positions, so it was pretty cool. So the program was good, but we had to teach ourselves. So I always like to be hands-on when I'm teaching. So it's just cool to have the students where I can go in, demonstrate to each one, walk through it with them, get them started, kind of like training wheels, and then, push them. And as they get to going, I kind of let them go off and do their own thing, watch them, make sure they don't fall, you know what I mean, to keep them moving. So it's cool, to be able to help them like this. So I appreciate the opportunity, and I really believe it's going to open up doors and change some lives. Out of my last class that just graduated, which I caught them on the end the last 3 weeks, and I really helped them in the last 3 weeks before they graduated. And I got 2 of those out of the 4 is already working. One of them is working in a company in Conway, Arkansas, and the other one is working in a company in Little Rock, Arkansas. One is making, I believe, $18 in Conway, and the other one is making $16 in the company he's working at in Little Rock. And it's all about supply and demand, and how far you want to drive, and where you at, and what you're doing. But coming straight out of school, fam, them guys to be making that money, and they're 21 years old. I mean, it's a game changer. And I told them, I remember getting out of prison at 26. I was making $8 an hour. That was my first welding job. And most people would have been really discouraged. You think, man, I'm going to make some money. But that was what I started out at. And then it was probably maybe 2 weeks later, I bumped up to $10 an hour. You know what I mean? So I started off at the bottom before I actually started getting some money. You know what I mean? Like some real money. And when I did leave Arkansas, I had just made it to $20 an hour in Arkansas. So I was in Fayetteville area working for a company in Rogers that was actually in Rogers, and I was making $20 an hour as a welder iron worker. So, it took some time for me to get to that level, you know what I mean? So I had been out welding for about 10 years, and then, after being out, I end up, running across that, you know what I mean? So, the opportunities are there when you apply yourself, but now there's more money around, and then there's more opportunities. So it's not like it was at one time. So, a lot of OGs who teach, or who even still, out giving the game, sometimes they can get bitter because, we had it harder than the people that's coming behind us, than the youngsters that's coming behind us. But, so they feel a certain type of way of, giving it to them. But I feel like, hey, man, if you can do this, bro, take advantage of it, because I'm knowing that the opportunities like that wasn't there. So things are getting better. At the same time, we know that we feel like things are getting worse. But I want to give them that opportunity and motivate them to say, hey, you can start off and hit the ground running. And the student that told me he was in Conway, he said they working six days a week, 10 hours a day. He getting to a bag, So to do 16 weeks in a welding program that is actually putting in about 350 hours of study. So you thinking to do that and get that type of experience and start out making that type of money, fam, that's a game changer. Yeah, sometimes you do. Sometimes you do make more money working with the contractor than straight with the company. Yeah, you do. Sometimes, you are right about that. That is a possibility. And also, sometimes, you can be through temp services and actually make less money. And sometimes, most temp services, normally you'll make less, and sometimes they'll have it where you can kind of break even if it's a real big need in the area, and they know that, hey, ain't nobody gonna do that for that much, because they know it's a lot of competition. Then they'll tend to pay you a little bit more. I've seen that happen in Phoenix and certain bigger cities. You know what I mean? They'll tend to ask for a little bit more. Atlanta, you know what I mean? They'll ask for a little bit more pay to try to get some good workers in. But a lot of times, like I say, it's good to go direct to the when you're working for mom and pop companies, or smaller LLC companies, that you can go direct to them, and those tend to pay a decent amount of money getting started, and also an opportunity for you to grow with. You know what I mean? So a lot of times, there's more opportunities out there than it was when I started. And then also, in these cities like Little Rock now, they starting to manufacture more, they starting to create more, build more, install more, and the bridge is up and going right now. So they got the bridge construction going, and family, they got it going on throughout the country. So the bridge infrastructure, where they're working on bridge, installing bridges, and all you need to have is a 3G unlimited cert, a bridge cert, a D1.5, which you can't use a grinder, any mechanical tools. You can just use your wire brush, chipper, hammer, scraper. That's it, and weld it out with a 7018 is what they're actually testing on. So you have to get that cert, and with that cert, fam, you can travel to U.S. welding on bridges. So you think, once you apply yourself, fam, you can be able to change things. So I like to tell the students that, having certain certs in your pocket and keeping them up. I got my AWS cert and my bridge cert. Having certs in your pocket, keeping them up, can change the game for you. If you still need to move around, it's always an opportunity. And then for those who like to fabricate, because fabrication and creating from artwork to equipment to tools to whatever, fabrication is there, fam. So it's all about getting into a space where you can be able to create things or come up with ideas, to come up with prints and blueprints, to be able to pass down those ideas. There's so much going on with welding right now. So I like to say salute to all the welders out there getting it, man, wherever you're in the country. Like I say, for those who coming into it, there's a big need right now. So there's a big need. I really feel like welders is always going to be essential, even though they got robot welders that will always need a physical person to do some welding. How long do each cert last? Once you get your certifications, I have to keep them updated every 6 months. So it's like every 6 months, it's like $25. So you can pretty much say $50 a year you spending on keeping your certs updated. $50 to $60. I think it probably went up to $30. So probably $60 a year on keeping your certs updated. Now, certain certs, I would say, like your bridge certs, your stick certs, if you're doing pipe welding or flux core, having your vertical and overhead and flux core can be a plus. It just depends on what you want to do. But I most definitely say that, each cert that you have will cost that same amount. So you have to spend 25 or 30 for that cert, vice versa, that cert. So you have to repeat the process. So, I used to have a few different ones, and then I started just keeping the few that I needed, or the one that I needed to just keep up, just to have on my personal. So just wanted to say that. So this rising, like I say, I'm just checking in. It's cold outside, a little too cold to weld, and like I say, I'm taking a day regrouping. So just wanted to say, fam, y'all be blessed. Continue to get your hog on. I'm out. Like Feniks.